Hi, and I want to say thank you so much for joining me live. So we're going to be here for about half an hour. If you've got any questions or comments, then please, feel free to bib in either during this live or afterwards. I will 100% go through them all and get back to you as soon as I can. So the expectation for this class is I'm going to let you know what essential oils are. And I'm going to show you how you can use them safely to support you and your family so that you can reach your health and wellness goals. I'm also going to empower you to change your story today by investing in the world's leading essential oil supplier so that you can have 100% confidence in your products. And I'm also going to invite you to reach out if you want to partner with me personally on your wellness journey. So in the past few years, there absolutely has been a revolution when it comes to people looking after their own health. More and more people are turning away from Western medicine in order to support their health needs. Now, the problem is natural health products have traditionally been sold in health food stores, in specialist shops, and this means that there's no real regulation. And this means that you have to rely on guesswork, Dr. Google, and your friends. Now, all of this advice probably left you still struggling with your health, am I right? Okay, so don't worry, I absolutely was there too. I'm going to tell you a quick little story about how I got involved in essential oils, just so you can see that a couple of years ago I was absolutely clueless. So I'm a no-nonsense psychologist, a holistic therapist and a doTERRA wellness advocate now, but a couple of years ago I was just a psychologist, and I was at a networking event. And this lady stood up and she said that she'd got 4 children with autism and they'd been using essential oils to successfully combat a lot of the health complications. And I was absolutely horrified. I mean, I was so annoyed that this lady even dared to say this, that she announced at the end she was hosting a class later that evening. So I absolutely gate crashed, okay? Now, within minutes, I was given a book which had lots and lots of research in there, and it had research from peer-reviewed journals that I had cited in my undergraduate degree, in my master's degree, in my research as part of becoming a psychologist. And then I really started to get to understand how essential oils worked, and then that left me really angry that I had spent 7 years in education, at higher education. Obviously, I went to school and stuff first. I had spent a couple of years on placement in a phenomenal private mental health facility for children and young people. And we weren't using these essential oils. So I decided to put them to the test myself. And I'm going to talk about myself a little bit later on, but I just want to say that within days I could see the potential, and after a few weeks they were woven into my therapy practice, and since then they have become a core part of our unique holistic therapy intervention, which really supports people through mental ill health. So they 100% got me hooked. And I'm sure you probably just want to know what on earth they are, because there is so much conflicting information out there. So essential oils, well, they're nature's natural defense mechanism. So they are the oil derived from plants, and so they're usually distilled. So flowers and stuff, they're squished and then heated, and then, the oil and water doesn't settle, so the oil goes on top of the water as the water and oil vapor goes through. And you can find lots more about how the distillation process works if you're really interested. But also just to let you know that citrus is compressed from the rind. So that's one unique thing about doTERRA, is that it's the citrus from the rind rather than the citrus from the actual fruit. So they are the pure plant extract. Now, they are highly concentrated. So 1 drop of essential oil that's pure is 50 to 70 times more powerful than herbs. And that doesn't mean that herbs aren't useful, and by putting things like clove and basil and spices and herbs into your dinner, you're absolutely going to be getting the phenomenal health benefits. but you're going to have to eat an awful lot compared to using the herb. And for example, if you're a bit of a peppermint tea junkie for your energy, 1 drop of doTERRA peppermint essential oil equates to 28 drops of peppermint tea. So you really are getting that buzz from 1 drop. So when we're talking about essential oils, one thing to really remember is less is more. So why would you use essential oils? Well, they're fast acting. Your body knows exactly what to do with them because they work with our body at a cellular level. So they go into the cells, they support and protect your cells, and they actually help your body address problems that you may be having rather than just masking the symptoms, which tends to happen with many synthetic medications. Now, unlike the pharmaceutical industry, the health and wellness and well-being and food and supplement industry isn't really regulated. As long as they're safe for people to use and consume, that's all that anybody really matters, but there is no industry standard. There are many different essential oil companies in the world. Only 3 routinely test their essential oils. One large, very well known and worldwide essential oil company was caught out about 12 months ago, 18 months ago, for repackaging lemongrass as Melissa. Now, lemongrass is really, really simple and easy to get hold of. It's about £10 for a 15ml bottle. Melissa, or lemon balm, is £130, £140 for a 5ml bottle. So a very well known organisation was actually repackaging lemongrass as Melissa or a lemon balm. You only need 10% pure essential oil in a bottle to be able to market it as 100% pure. And a very well-known worldwide supermarket was doing this very recently, within the last few months, advertising lavender as 100% pure, which, with regards to regulation, it was, but there was just about 10% worth of lavender in there. And I'm just going to quickly talk about organic. So organic doesn't really mean anything in the essential oil industry because it's all about where it's grown. Yes, you want to make sure that your essential oils haven't had pesticides and things like that on them, which yes, organic does traditionally cover, but if you're growing them in a hydroponics, or if you're growing them in random soil where they're not traditionally grown, is you're actually going to be changing the constituent makeup. So you're changing what the plant's growing like, and then you're changing the oil. So organic, yes, it can be helpful to know that you're not going to be putting any hazardous toxins on your skin. If it's not 100% pure oil in a bottle, it's going to have synthetic products in there anyway. So whether it's organic or not really doesn't make any difference. Now, for me, this is why doTERRA is absolutely a cut above the rest, and actually they are the world's leading essential oil supplier. So they were voted one of the best companies to work for last year by Forbes, and they are just phenomenal with what they do to guarantee every single bottle of essential oil is 100% pure oil in a bottle. They're actually setting the industry standard, and that's what their CPTG trademark stands for. So certified pure therapeutic grade means they guarantee every single oil bottle is tested 15 different ways, and you can jump on a website called Source to You and you can literally track where your essential oils come from. You can see all of the tests it's been through, where it was harvested, when it was harvested, where it was bottled, when it was bottled. They're just so transparent. They are the only essential oil company in the world that is partnered with a leading university. So they partnered with Johns Hopkins University to ensure that they are continuing and driving research in this area. They have all of their oils third-party tested, so it's not even just them saying, hey, they're great. They're getting other people to test them as well. And the real thing for me that got me thinking about doTERRA as an organisation rather than just the essential oils is the way that they grow the product. So they don't grow them in hydroponics, they don't grow them in gardens, they don't grow them in areas of fields that are just absolutely depleted in mineral contents and things like that. They grow them where they are going to be grown best, so where they're naturally grown, and this is why their oils are the best of the best. Now the other thing is, sometimes, and more often than not, essential oils where they're growing naturally are in developing countries. They're in countries where there isn't the infrastructure, where there isn't the support, where there isn't anything ready to help those farmers get those oils to us. So doTERRA took fair trade and souped it up, and they do something called co-impact sourcing. This basically means if there isn't a hospital or a local healthcare facility, they build one. If there isn't schools for their children to have a good education, they build it. If there isn't running water, they build the pipelines. If there aren't homes, they build the homes. They get all the local growers together to form a cooperative, and they support the farmers by paying them intermittently, so they are never out of pocket, they're never starving, and they never ever need to harvest any oils early, because that means that we'd be getting less quality, but it means that all of the people who are looking after me by supplying me with the oils are being looked after, and for me that is just phenomenal. Now they also do loads of other stuff. They've got a Healing Hands Foundation, they support their wellness advocates. It's just phenomenal. But you're not here to hear me talk on and on and on about doTERRA. You're here to learn how to use essential oils, so I'm gonna get down to that now. We're going to talk about 4 essential oils. Now traditionally people talk about 3 different ways to use essential oils, so I'm going to talk about 4. So this is super exciting for anybody who's already a wellness advocate, or anybody who already uses essential oils, and anybody who's new. So we're going to start by talking about how you can use essential oils aromatically, and you can see on the screen we have got Breathe. So Breathe is doTERRA's respiratory blend, and this helps maintain feelings of clear airwaves and easy breathing. It helps minimise the effects of seasonal threats, and you can diffuse it at bedtime to promote a restful night's sleep. So it can really help your airwaves and your respiratory function by using this oil aromatically, and that simply means by smelling it. Okay, so you can smell it straight from the bottle, and this is so amazing. It really does open up all of your airways. You can stick it in a diffuser, and if I just move my head that way, you can see a diffuser in the background. Now diffusers are great because you just put a couple of drops in there with cold water. They are electric, they shut off when they are finished, and it's a vibration plate in there that literally breaks up the oil particles, and as the water vapour comes out, it's dispersed into the air. So diffusers are phenomenal if you've got a family and you're all snotty, especially with Breathe. You know, Breathe's great if you're all bunked up. And so everybody gets the health benefits. So diffusers are phenomenal, but literally just smelling the oil, you can put it in a diffuser necklace that you can get now, you can get diffuser bracelets. I sometimes put it on my clothes, on the inside of my neck of my clothes, and I can smell it all day. You can stick it on a hanky. So aromatic literally just means any way you can to smell the oil. Okay, so next we're going to talk about topical use of essential oil, and we're going to talk about Deep Blue. So Deep Blue is doTERRA Specialist Soothing Blend, and this one is phenomenal for supporting you if you're exercising, if you've got occasional aches and pains. So it's really good if you can get your partner to give you a massage after a long day of housework. Lots of ironing, lots of mopping the floors always leaves me a bit achy. It's also great if you've got young children who are growing and they get growing pains. You can give them a bit of a deep tissue massage with a carrier oil before bed. And then, you know, like most of us sit at the computer all day, so give yourself a bit of a Deep Blue massage, deep tissue massage, by rubbing some Deep Blue on your fingers, wrists, shoulders and neck. So topical application literally means putting the oil directly on your skin. Now please don't panic when I say this. You need to be careful about dilution. Some oils are classed as hot oils, so this is a spice or a herb, so things like oregano or clove or cinnamon or thyme. And you need to make sure that you're always using a carrier when you're using essential oil for the first time. Okay, so a carrier oil is literally any food grade oil, so vegetable oil, coconut oil, almond oil, so anything that you would put inside your mouth and ingest is a food grade oil. So a carrier oil, always use that the first time you're using any essential oil. There are some oils that don't necessarily need essential oils, but again, it depends on your skin sensitivity, it depends on your age, depends on whether you're white, tanned, black, green, yellow, whatever colour you are. And we all, you know, some people are fair, some people have got thick skin, so it's so unique to you that I 100% recommend using a carrier oil when you're first starting out, until you get to know your body, because essential oils are hyperpotent and you want to be safe, and it's not going to dilute the effect. Some people are so worried that if they use a carrier oil it's going to dilute the effect. It doesn't. It just means it enables it just softens up your skin. It's great. So I use fractionated coconut oil because it's non-greasy, doesn't smell, and it's just got loads of health benefits of its own. But you can literally use anything that you want to use. Now, some of doTERRA's blends are already blended with a carrier oil, so you may not need to. So they do a doTERRA Touch range and they are already ready diluted. But if you're going to be using them on children, you will need to use a carrier oil as well. So just every time you're using a new essential oil on your skin topically, have your carrier oil ready. It's not going to reduce the effect at all, I promise you. So third, we're going to talk about internal use. Now again, please don't panic, okay? So there's lots of huffing and puffing about whether you can use essential oils internally. 100% you can, if your essential oil says you can. Now this is the thing that's really important. If your essential oil has not been tested, if your essential oil is full of synthetic medication, synthetic products, if your essential oil is not 100% pure oil in a bottle and generally recognised as safe, then don't stick it in your mouth. 100%. There's no need. You don't have to use internal use. If you don't want to, don't do it. However, if you are struggling with digestive upsets, there are certain essential oils which are really going to help soothe you, and if you use it internally, you're going to see the benefits quicker. It's not that you will see them and not if you use it aromatically or topically. You're just going to see the benefits quicker. You can take essential oils internally if they have a supplement facts label. Okay, so I'm going to show you this. So on the side of the bottle it says, you know, it talks about your calorie content and things like that. This is how you know whether you can take it internally or not. Please check with your essential oil supplier. Not all of doTERRA essential oils can be taken internally, so please check and just do it sensibly. So you can put your oils in a glass of water. Again, less is more, about 1 to 2 drops in a glass of water if you're an adult of a certain size. So again, you know, check the dilution for yourself. Be careful about using essential oils internally on children and on animals. I tend to say, you know, when they're a bit older and, you know, bigger, you know, over 12, maybe start looking at it, because you can get the benefits without. So I'm going to talk about Digestin, which is phenomenal for anyone who is struggling with digestive difficulties. It is really useful for soothing occasional stomach discomfort. You can add it to water to maintain a healthy gastrointestinal tract. It helps reduce bloating and gas and occasional indigestion. And it smells really fennelly. So it's got fennel in there, it's got ginger in there, it's got peppermint in there. So it's also really good if you get a bit of car sickness. It's just really good to help soothe and calm all of your insides to do with food and digestion. It's so useful. But again, you know, topical, completely up to you. Aromatic, completely up to you, and internal, it's completely up to you. There are 3 ways to use essential oils. You don't have to use all 3. Using them the different ways just means that you'll get different potential results and you'll see the results quicker. Or the thing to realise though, when I'm talking about quicker, is essential oils are in your system within 30 seconds. Okay, so if you're taking it internally, it's in your bloodstream within 30 seconds. If you're smelling it, it's in 30 seconds. And topical application, it's in those cells within 30 seconds. It has gone into every single cell and positively impacted every single cell of your body within 20 minutes. Okay, so when I'm talking about quicker, I just mean, you know, quicker than 20 minutes, possibly. It might be 15 minutes. There are instances where I have helped and supported people, and within seconds they have seen a phenomenal improvement in their health. Okay, so it can happen within seconds, but just know that within 20 minutes the essential oils will be affecting every single cell in your body. And if that's not quick enough for you, then you may need to look elsewhere. But I genuinely don't know anything else that is quicker, that is long lasting, and that works with your body to support your body do what it needs to do. Now, I've been teasing you, and I'm going to talk about the fourth way to use essential oils, and this is by far that is your digestion. Apologies. I want to talk about the fourth way, which is by far my favourite. I'm going to talk about prevention, okay? So most people turn to essential oils because they're struggling with their health goal, whether it's physical, emotional or mental, whatever it is. People usually turn to essential oils because they've just had enough of Western synthetic pharmaceutical medication just not working, okay? So great. Now, if you're somebody who's already been supporting yourself a lot, you want to make sure that you just don't go back, okay? So On Guard is doTERRA's protective blend, and it is phenomenal for immune support. So usually when our immune system is low, which happens to the majority of us because we're stressed out, and stress actually will reduce your immune system's ability to function. So if you're stressed with work or home or about money or about your family, that will stop your immune system from working, okay? 100%. There's so much science and research behind that. So if you're stressed out, what you want to do is you want to make sure that you are preventing your immune system from shutting down. You're supporting your immune system to get back on track, because if your immune system shuts down, that's it. You've had it, 100%. So prevention is always better than cure, and because essential oils are not drugs, they can't treat, cure or prevent any diseases. Just need to make sure that you understand that, but they can support your body to do what it's supposed to do, and what it does do naturally, it gives it a bit of a kick and a bit of a boost. Now traditionally On Guard is used for other than immune support, it can be used for cleaning. So if you want to chuck out all your toxic cleaners and go hard at using essential oils, On Guard is great to put a drop on a cloth and wipe all your sides down. There is hospitals in Australia and America who now use On Guard rather than any other cleaning product, and they've seen a reduction in MRSA in their hospitals. You can put a couple of drops in a veggie capsule or in a glass of water and drink it if you want to take it internally. It's going to support your body's natural antioxidant defences. Now, I'm sure you've heard a lot about blueberries and how antioxidant blueberries are. I've even got a couple of blueberry bushes. Now, I can tell you that with regards to antioxidants, clove, which is in On Guard, is in the millions on the scale. Blueberries, a couple of 100,000, so, or a couple of thousand. So the difference between clove and blueberries is the highest of all the superfoods that are knocking around. Clove literally just knocks it out of the park. So if you're trying to detox, you know, go for clove, 100%. Okay, so I know that you've had a lot of information. I want to just roll it back a little bit and talk to you about how essential oils have impacted me personally, so that you can really see how phenomenally they can be used. So I was born with a twisted spine, twisted pelvis. I was also born with extremely sensitive skin, so you know, I'd step outside and my skin would blister and boil. And I had so many different contraptions to help me stand upright as a child, ointments on my skin to try and stop it burning, so many different issues. Thankfully, I'm okay now. But so that, you know, my mum got desperate when I was very young, and took me to a homeopath who, in her words, said some mambo jumbo, and all of a sudden my skin was healed. This is after years of trying whatever the doctors were giving her, and me having second-degree burns at some point because of stepping outside. I mean, I remember being in the sun with a hat, gloves, scarves, full-on coat and something over my face to stop me at school, sat under the tree. I was not allowed to go out and play properly because they were just terrified my skin would burn. So really, really sad. But that's all got sorted up. I learnt to stand up straight and turn my feet the right way round so I could walk on two legs rather than on all fours like a chimp, which is how my mum described it. However, because that's not how I was born, that's not how my spine and my hips had formed, I was constantly in pain, and I mean absolute debilitating pain. Every 6 months or so my back would seize because it was trying to get back to how it was, and obviously I was trying to stand upright and I was fighting it, and so my back would just lock up. And I don't know whether you've ever accidentally electrocuted yourself, or you can kind of think of what an electric shock feels like. I used to have that running up and down my spinal column. It was just agony. Lying down hurt, sitting up hurt, rolling over hurt, going to the loo. I mean, don't get me started on trying to get up and go to the loo. And I would be bedridden for about 2 weeks, and I was on really, really strong and hallucinogenic medication, which never really took the pain away. It made me not really be aware of what was going on, so I wasn't hurting, I guess, but the pain was always there. And even when my back wasn't seized, I just always had a dull ache. And I remember starting work when I was 16, 17, really excited to go work for, I was working in fashion, and I was sat down because my back was quite sore, and some lady came up to me and she said, "You should move because you're young, fit and healthy. I'm an old lady." And she wasn't old, she was probably about, 40 or 50. And I just said that. I said, "Well, actually, I've got a twisted spine and a twisted pelvis, and I'm in quite a lot of pain at the minute, so if you don't mind, I would quite like to stay sat because I don't think I'm going to be able to stand up for the 45-minute journey to where I need to work." And everybody else, because it was full, just kind of looked at her as if to say, "You best not make her move, love." But I just thought that really bugged me, that people would just automatically assume that young people who are sat down are healthy and they're doing it out of spite. Like, you don't know what's going on underneath. Anyway, I digress as usual. So I'd had some osteotherapy. I used to do lots of exercise, still do lots of exercise, but I used to do lots of yoga, lots of swimming, and I struggle with swimming because my legs don't work properly. But I used to do so much to try and keep my back muscles really stretched so that I would have less chances of it seizing. And it did slow down to about once every 12 months, once every 6 months, but it still happened. And the worst thing was that every time I took the medication, I'd be sick. It'd make me ill. So if you've ever had a bad back, vomiting and having a bad back, it just doesn't help it. So strangely, about 6 weeks after I found essential oils, my back seized. My wonderful partner ran straight to the medicine cabinet, pulled out all the pills, and I was screaming, "Get the book, get the oils," because I didn't know what I was doing. And we randomly found that clove was going to be good, and so I thought, well, I'll try it, and if it doesn't work, I'll spend 2 weeks bedridden. And I went back to sleep because this was 6 o'clock in the morning, so I went back to sleep. And I woke up a couple of hours later and I could move. Now, I wasn't completely pain-free, but I could move. Now, that was huge. Usually I'm moving at about day 9, okay? So I got up, went to the loo, very proud of myself, went downstairs, took my covers, went and sat with the dogs, put the telly on. He was applying more clove, and a couple of hours later, a few hours later, I realised that I wasn't hurting. And I don't mean like not seized anymore, I mean not hurting. And this was the strangest feeling. I genuinely couldn't believe it. And I thought, well, something must be wrong. Maybe my other half had slipped me something funny before he left and I didn't realise, because this is just crazy. You know, my last experience of my back seizing, the paramedics came out and I was on gas and air and so much stuff to try and get me to be able to move, and yet 4 drops of clove on my foot. This is nuts. Well, you know, my partner came home and I was up doing the dishes, tootling along as though nothing had happened. And the next day I took the 2 dogs for a walk, and I've got an American Bulldog and a Staffy. So they're not small dogs, and, you know, really I should have been worried about them pulling, but I just felt great. I've never felt better. And I continued to use the clove over the next few weeks just to make sure it wasn't going to slip back. And now I have a rollerball with clove and rosemary and white fir and fractionated coconut ready. So over the past 2 years I've perfected my back roller, so we say. And I last time I used it was about 6 months ago, so I don't even use it anymore. If however I've overexerted myself at the gym, the first thing I do is I rollerball my feet, and I genuinely don't have to worry about it. I do have to worry about hay fever season, because sneezing sets it off, ironing sets it off, sweeping, mopping, all of those things. So I do always have to be mindful. You know, my spine's still twisted, my hips are still twisted, my back seizing probably will still happen. The difference is that I'm not in pain 24/7. And if my back seizes, within 12-24 hours, I'm back to normal. And it is phenomenal. So that's how they've helped me on the biggest scale. I mean, they've just helped me in so many different ways, because I literally am obsessed with them. I'm not going to lie. They are phenomenal. And anybody I've supported to use them becomes obsessed with them. You really do. Okay, and I'm sure by now you're super excited to get some essential oils into your home. If you want to go ahead and knock yourself out, use the link and go straight to my doTERRA website, and you'll get them shipped to you within a few days. They literally come within 2 to 4 days. You can be using natural forms of healthcare and getting yourself back on track and being just the phenomenal you that I know is inside within a couple of days. This is just phenomenal. But let me just pre-warn you before you go jumping off and buying them. What makes doTERRA unlike any other essential oil company out there is the phenomenal lengths they go to in order to help you and make sure that you succeed in your health goals. Now, I can tell that you're watching this because you don't think essential oils are fad. You understand just how powerful they are and how they are likely to be that missing link in your ability to reach your wellness goals. Am I right? Now, it's doTERRA's mission to have a healer in every home, and it's part of my mission in life to support doTERRA to achieve this goal. And I would like to personally support you wherever you are in the world, because we've got the internet, and I can support you wherever you are to achieve your health, wealth and life goals by partnering with you. Now, as one of my doTERRA partners, you receive 25% of all of your orders, the opportunity to receive free products, product credits to buy more products, and become part of a growing community of like-minded individuals who band together to support each other when things get difficult. Yes, if you choose, you can do the same as me and spread the word, but it really isn't essential. In fact, only a very small number of doTERRA users share their experiences with others. Most just enjoy the phenomenal health benefits. Now, the best way to get started is to purchase a home essentials kit. Now, this comes with the 4 oils I talked about, plus lavender, peppermint, lemon, frankincense, and oregano and melaleuca in 15ml bottles. So that's about 250 drops per bottle, and you're only going to be using 2 to 3 max a day unless you're chronic, and still you really don't use that very much. Remember, less is more when it comes to doTERRA essential oils. They are pure. Now you also get a petal diffuser, and like I said, this is really, really good at enabling your whole family to enjoy the benefits of essential oils at just pennies per day. Now, in order for you to get this kit at a discount and all the other great things that come as part of being one of my partners, you need to go to www.eoily.weebly.com, fill in your information. I will write you a personalised report on which oils are going to be most beneficial if the Home Essentials kit is just not for you. But for anyone who just wants to get started, got a family, got loads of different things going on, I guarantee you this kit is just the best. It's where I started. And now I am so grateful for you watching, and I really look forward to supporting you on this journey.